guys, welcome back. The NBA Fantasy Salary Cup edition is on the way. This is the final game day of game week 10. So we're going to look at game day 6, and of course game day 6 average was 120, and I managed to slightly be above the average, 136. Generally, game week 10 was not the best. I had a couple players that were out, so I'm glad that it's done, and it was only just 6 days. So now we're going to take a look at the squad and who contributed to 136 points that I accumulated. It was just 3 players. The rest of the players did not play, so that's why I'm saying it was a terrible game week all together. But thankfully, Deni gave me 60 points, Cade Cunningham only 50, and AJ Mitchell returned. Shockingly, I didn't actually expect him to play. 26 points right there from the Oklahoma City Thunders. Then on the bench, none played. Wow. Knopo was out, same as Jalen Johnson, who has a flag on him, expected to return on the 31st. But this is very worrying for a player that costs 14.1 and is on has this flag. So I'm most definitely going to be looking at using the free transfers that I get in game day 1 of game week 11. Knopo as well has a flag on him, expected 31st, because there are games actually on the next deadline. All right, so that's it basically. The players that contributed were just Deni Avdija, Cade Cunningham, and AJ Mitchell right there. All right, now let's take a look at the highlights themselves. So looking at the games as they were, the first game was of course Philadelphia taking on Oklahoma City Thunders, and of course Oklahoma had to win that one to end a 2-game SKID, beating Philly. In this one, Chet Holmgren had 29 points in this game, and of course the game ended 104 to 129 Oklahoma City Thunders. Tyrese Maxey had a great game as well, accumulating a total of 52 fantasy points, dropping 28 in this game, 5 assists and 3 rebounds to go along with that. Quentin Grimes returns as well, dropping 13 points in this game, 21 fantasy points. Actually watched a little bit of this game. VJ Edgecombe started out confidently in the game and managed to get 10 points, 22 fantasy points right there. Paul George managed to score 12 points as well, 25. Joel Embiid, back to his antics. He doesn't play strong teams, he only plays weak teams, so he didn't play in this one. Chet Holmgren had an amazing game, 29 points in this one, 9 rebounds, nearly double-double, 52 fantasy points. He led the way for OKC in this one. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 27 points as well, 45 fantasy points in this game. So let me roll the highlights of this one.
George was trying to defend it. SGA gets in a hit spot. First shot of the game goes down. We got our first points of the game.
He's usually got pretty good success on that secondary guy who picks him up on the help side.
There's Edgecombe, the very confident, electric young scorer.
A season ago, just one season.
As Holmgren trying to decide what to do. Series of moves. Pulls up a shot right up over Barlow, the two-way player. You see all those different pivots. I'm always impressed at how they're able to keep that pivot foot down. About a 720 in terms of turns and spins as Maxey glides his way to the rim for his first bucket.
You know, he likes to play in transition. There's another good screen that time by Hartenstein.
As Dor's quarter, Jada had to make the adjustment with the right hand and still able to flush it down. But fortunate that Dort was there to scrape it up. Holmgren, once again, going into his moves. That time the fadeaway. How about the touch? Jared McCain Got up to such a strong start for Philly last year, his rookie year. Nice cut by Maxey. Maxey hangs in the air long enough for the left-handed layup. That is a tough finish.
He's so clever around the basket. His speed can get there quickly before that weak side can get there.
Mitchell, oh, the patient play. Got all the... Shea passes away from the double team. Open man, it is Wallace. He's going to take full advantage of the wide open look.
After taking him away from the basket, so the help side could come out double.
That shot well short, but an offensive rebound by Bona, the former UCLA Bruin, and second-round pick with the slam.
He's done a good job of picking that loose change up off the floor as Mitchell gets to that spot.
With George, dumps it down. Bona, oh my goodness, he went up there for the jam, but Hartenstein affected the dunk. Hartenstein, the big fella put on the deck, but Bona returns the favor defensively. Edgecombe, the kick, the shot, Edwards the three.
Body.
And George has his...
I know a lot of times we say that about a lot of Thunder players.
Offensive rebound, Holmgren got it up over Drummond, and then a little finger roll for the finish. So it's still a 2-point OKC lead. Barlow dumps it off, Drummond, and Chet couldn't recover first half. SGA drives right, hangs in the air, little lollipop play up that time, and the finish with the right hand. As both these teams continue to shoot it at a very high clip on the offensive end. Maxey, tough step back shot, and the three over Jalen Williams.
He's been running that double high screen for Maxey, trying to see if they can get something to come off of that.
That was just good two-man defense. Hartenstein out of the perimeter, and the nice steal. SGA, the pivot foot down, and the score
By Edwards.
5 seconds. SGA, the pull-up, right at the elbow, over the outstretched arm. That is pure.
23 points in this game. And I asked Thunder assistant coach Mike Wilkes what the key is to slowing him down here in the second half. And he told me there are a couple of errors.
But certainly the focus on the defensive end will be on Maxey. There is Williams on the drive. No, but it's Holmgren right there off the miss.
All right, so in this game, basically, Chet Holmgren had 29 points and, of course, 9 rebounds, and the OKC City Thunders pulled away in the second half for a 129-104 victory over Philadelphia 76ers on Sunday, ending a 2-game skid. Remember, they met then worst nightmare in Sacramento Kings, so OKC was a bit quieted down, and of course they ended their hopes of having an 80-game unbeaten run basically for the season. So Chet Holmgren made 12 of 17 shots, including 2 of 4 from 3-point range for Oklahoma City Thunders that generally has 27 wins and 5 losses only, which was actually coming off consecutive losses to San Antonio Spurs. The Thunders shot 50 of 87, which is 57%. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, had 27 points, 5 assists and 2 steals. Jalen Williams had 14 points and 6 assists for the NBA leading Thunders. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made 10 of 13 field goals and shot 7 of 9 from the line before sitting out the fourth quarter. He scored at least 20 points for the 103rd consecutive games he has run going right here. On the other side, Tyrese Maxey dropped 28 points. Quentin Grimes had 13, and former OKC City Thunders star Paul George had 12 for Philly. Philadelphia currently have 16-14. They have won 16 games, lost 14, which played into injured. Okay, MB, I don't think okay, yeah, he's still struggling with that ankle. Well, it's listed as an ankle injury, but we know he's struggling with his knee. There's a knee that terrible knee is that. So he was out on this one, but there's a saying that he never plays hard tough teams, even in his MVP season, which I actually do not believe he should have gotten. It should have gone to Nikola Jokic, but it was a pity title that they gave him because of leave that at that. So Philadelphia, of course, committed 23 turnovers, leading to 31 OKC points, which is not good. So let's finish up at the fourth quarter, which has just started. I'll rush through it because really this was more or less a blowout, 20 plus point difference in this game.
See Bona's body going to the knee. Mitchell in a little bit of distress. Still.
Shot is the guy taking the shot. And he went right to the basket. And there's the NBA steals leader.
That's a season high.
Doing a great job to consistently doing it on both halves.
Consecutive wins. 5-0 this year.
All right, so that's how that was concluded. As you can see right there, 104 to 129. OKC winning the game and ending their 2-game SKID beating Philly in Oklahoma. All right, so after that game came the Golden State Warriors game taking on Toronto Raptors. And of course, Barnes led in overtime to come back, leading Toronto Raptors to make sure they get this game in overtime. Interesting game. Barnes matches Raptors record with 25 rebounds, has a triple-double in overtime victory over Warriors. Steph Curry having yet another good game, but unfortunately not enough for them to win this game. This is unbelievable. Are you seeing that stat? 21 points by Draymond Green. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. Look at that. If you're to see, he rarely scores in double figures. Look at that. 21 in this game. Wow. Okay, interesting. So Steph Curry right there, you can see he dropped 39 points in this game, 56 fantasy points. In this game. On the other side, Emmanuel quickly led the way, 27 points, 48. Barnes returns and to his usual ways, dropping 23. Wow, look at that, 25 rebounds. That's a triple-double, 10 assists, 23 points, 80 points in this game. That's Scotty Barnes right there. Let's run these highlights.
Toronto started very small here, so they dare QP to hit a three.
He's one of the top guys.
Draymond for three off back iron. Steph able to track it down and throw it in and draw the foul. Curry, the sleight of hand right there.
How's that for a start? Johnny on the spot, quickly
kick out. Draymond corner three. Rimming that out.
They're helping off of Draymond.
There's RJ Barrett. Welcome back.
He's solid, around 36%.
Yeah, no, you can't just leave him. Baji, nice knock away, but it ricochets to the Warriors. Steph barely in his hands. Get up and out. Push ahead to Ingram. And he was blocked at the rim. Player out of Baylor just getting a freebie, and Toronto's ripped off 9 straight. Jemski catch and shoot triple. Right way down and out.
That's a great look, too.
Abu-Kelishvili is at 42% on threes. You got to honor that, but he takes it. It's Pajemski to beat the buzzer off iron. Al Horford fighting for that rebound with Scotty Barnes throwing ahead to Grady, and he'll dunk it down. Scotty Barnes and Mamu. And Al Horford played that well. Shot clock at 7. Barnes with a straight line drive, and Horford blocking that shot.
They've been really solid defensively all year.
Yeah, I just think it's the 12-5 with RJ Barrett, 6-9 without him. And Scotty Barnes open buddy, Will Richards, Steph, and Draymond. And Draymond inside. Nice hang and finish.
just keep contact.
Steph for three, got it.
Okay.
Curry's got 11.
Yeah, Steph didn't.
You hit on it, he looks good. Only his second game back after the sciatica issue. Bajemski putting it up and in.
Just gonna try to just up the one.
Words with friends. Will Richard with a beautiful steal. Will soaring in to dunk it home.
That zone at teams. A lot of teams don't go over their zone offense at times. Warriors are going to that zone more and more.
Jimmy from the mid-range and dunked in his own miss. Report. RJ Barrett, left-hand dominant. Raymond three, got it. This is a good. Quickly a little show and go. Now Scotty Barnes has the size advantage, rolls into the lane and flips it in and drawing the foul. Butler on Barrett, that's strength on strength right there. Raymond made 1-3, and how about another one?
The Raptors have actually been pretty good in clutch games. They're 10-5, even though offensively they've been terrible in clutch minutes.
Steph Curry fouled, shooting at three. Shot clock at 11. Butler's going to call his own number. Jimmy putting it up and out. Jimmy rebound, good! And drawing another. Curry inside, Barnes is there again. Raymond's had a three-point shooting afternoon, and it continues. 9 right now, Will Richard. GP2 times it perfect. They won the first division title since 2018. GP2 had it stolen away.
All right, so in this game, basically, RJ Barrett returned, which was good to see right there. But Scotty Barnes was the main man, scoring 23 points and matched a Raptors franchise record with a career high of 25 rebounds and added 10 assists for his 7th career triple-double as Toronto Raptors beat Golden State Warriors 141-127 in overtime on Sunday. Emmanuel quickly scored 27 points, Brandon Ingram had 26 points, and Jacoby Walters added a season-high 18 for the Raptors, who snapped a 5-game home losing streak. Steph Curry scored 14 of his 39 points in the third quarter, but did not score in overtime. Draymond Green had 21 points, and Jimmy Butler added 19, but it wasn't enough for the Warriors in that game. So this actually went into overtime, so we shall see that shortly. Let's get back to the highlights.
Ingram on Butler. Shot clock at 5. Ingram to the baseline. That fadeaway you can't get to. 2.5 left. Curry down the lane. Curry laying it up and in. Steph's got 36. Will Richard breaking the paint. Shot clock at 7. Curry hides behind Draymond. 3! He got a new career high. Tied it with 17 there.
I told you about these double teams.
Ingram. Every Warrior turnover. A 3 would tie it. Quickly has tied the game.
For one right here.
Steph, a 3. Rimmed it out. Pajemski the rebound. Pajemski lays it in. From again. He's got it again. Face up on Draymond. He will launch. And the rebound put in by Scotty Barnes. Shed's on him. Down to 4. And Curry's going to be called for an offensive foul. He swung the ball back. Shed took a dive. And it's another Warrior turnover. Jacoby Walter. Ingram to win it. And we're going overtime.
Double teams to happen.
12-3 when you have fewer turnovers. Shed dropping it in and laying it up and in a triple-double.
21 second chance points for the Raptors.
Ingram makes it hurt. Ingram for 3. Barnes another rebound. My goodness, he's been incredible. Barnes has Steph on a switch. They're trying to get the ball to him. Walter will drop in a triple. Toronto in overtime. Quickly, sidestep 3 on the way. Got it.
every time. I'm going to give the Raptors credit, though. I mean, they kind of took this one. When they turned that pressure up, the game changed.
Draymond down the lane to lay it up and in. Last 4 shots. Scotty Barnes, what a night. Assist.
Explosive. That's a fake handoff, Draymond Green style.
Jemski 3, got it.
But you see what Steph did there?
Another rebound. You're watching a wing just have a career night. Such a good player, but he's had every rebound. Shed for 3, ball game. Jimmy, Steph, and Draymond are done. There's another cross-court pass stolen, and Ingram will dunk it down. This is the Raptors' largest lead. Well, it comes at a good time at the end of the game. They outscore the Warriors in OT 19-5.
Well, you could say the game was decided in overtime because the Golden State Warriors literally switched off in overtime. They never came back. Steph Curry got lost. He didn't even score a single point in overtime. And yeah, it was a terrible, terrible game for them. And of course, in overtime, it was just 19 points that were dropped by Toronto Raptors. And Steph had none. Steph had none. All right, so that's how that one was concluded. Golden State Warriors winning that, losing that one, 127 to Toronto Raptors, 141. And of course, that win helped them end the 5-game losing streak that they were on. And of course, so of course, the next games will be on Monday for these two teams as Warriors takes on Brooklyn and Raptors will take on Orlando Magic. All right, so after that, of course, came the Boston Celtics game taking on Portland Trail Blazers. And of course, Sharp scores 26 as Blazers beat Celtics in this game, 114 to 108. They are back to their winning ways. Deni, Avdia, and company, as you can see right there, shading Sharp, scoring 26 in this game. 36 fantasy points to go along, accumulated in that one. Then Deni Avdia dropping 24, 60 fantasy points, a double-double, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds to go along with that. On the other side, Jaylen Brown doing his thing as well, dropping 37 points, 52 fantasy points in this game. Then Hugo Gonzalez with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, 31 points right there. Someone to consider, a budget player for you, 4.9, not so bad. Considering it's just that his minutes are a bit inconsistent, but yeah, he's one of those players you can use to fill up your roster should you need a player like him. So let's roll the highlights of this game.
Out on the wing, a deep 2. Fling it, off it comes to Sharp. His pass intercepted by Derek White. One-time all defense. And in a starting role this season with the Boston Celtics, and he knocks down a triple out of the corner. We've seen him get hot early in his career here.
Blazers already going to that zone look.
Brown rocks, drives, leads, and scores.
And there's two things, Kev, I want to touch on with Anthony as Shaden hangs the line in Game 5. If Anthony Simons doesn't decide to go off for 37
as a rookie,
yes, in that game against Sacramento,
and played all 40, he'll defend out on the perimeter. Avdia takes him off a clinging screen, gets it open, look at 3, and flushes a triple. Sharp and Kamara in the corners. Donovan 3 of 3 from 3 against the Clippers the other night, is inching up into the low 30s. Gonzalez with it, trying to get open is Ant catch, shoot, step back. I mean, that ball barely touched his fingertips and he let it go.
Good contest from Donovan.
Tamani drives it downhill. Swerves in late. Gonzalez a screen in backcourt to give Pritchard a fighting chance downhill. Turned away by Avdia. Tightrope in the inline is Brown.
One time when the Blazers were in zone, and then that time in the scramble. Good leave off. Good leave off.
Sure was nice. He squeezed that in between some bodies.
Yeah, he's reading the drop coverage.
Deni, 3 assists, came in averaging nearly 7 a game to go with 7 boards and 26 a night. 10 points for Jaylen Brown, and they have all been midi or at the rim.
Do you see any way that Jaylen Brown doesn't score at least 30 points? And then, oh, good pass, Taylor. Hold up.
This pass, though, bullets outside and off the fingertips of Love. Simons will have a chip shot. And Boston's lead now is at 3. Tamani fakes, drives. Kamara with a right hand, rolls it up and in, and he draws the bump as he is spun sideways by Garza.
That's all made possible by the hit-ahead pass.
Better than the other. Neither were effective.
Okay, so those are comments.
Murray
just so you know.
outside, and Love strokes in at 3. Good look by Murray as he was teetering. Oh, got him. Stolen inbounds. Love, double pump layup and in.
He is an injection of energy.
Yeah, where would we be without Love?
Lost.
Here comes Brown up the floor.
I spoke about Javonte Cook, so sometimes I can only imagine if we were
Actually there that score from Deni, but initially, Cav, that was a really good job with the ball movement from the Blazers.
Pritchard muscling his way to the end line, curls it outside.
All right, so this one was a sight to behold as, of course, Portland Trail Blazers ended, I think we have 4 or 5 game losing streak. And of course, that also saw a disruption of the Celtics winning streak as well. Shaden Sharp scored 26 points, including 5 of 8 from 3-point range. And Portland Trail Blazers snapped of course, the Blazers snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 114-108 win over Boston Celtics on Sunday. Deni Avdia added 24 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds for the Blazers. Omar Kamara, I don't know how to pronounce that first name, scored 20 points and of course cleaning 18 points and 18 rebounds. Caleb Love added 18 points off the bench. The Celtics, whose 4-game winning streak was snapped, were led by Jaylen Brown with 37 points on 14 of 23 shooting. That is for Jaylen Brown. It was Brown's 9th game in a row with 30 or more points, tying Larry Bird for franchise record for consecutive 30-plus point games. That is impressive right there. Then, of course, I spoke about Hugo while we're looking at the fantasy side of things. He also added 13 points in this game. Now, as we get into the third quarter, this is the start. Of course, the first half was led by Celtics, 63-55, as they entered into the half time. But Portland Trail Blazers is going to actually pull ahead and outscore Boston Celtics 31-22 in the third quarter, and that is where the tide will shift, as you can see right there in the third quarter that we are seeing in the highlights back there. All right, let's conclude these highlights.
Top side to Love for 3. Yes, sir. Caleb Love trailing.
There's no case to even be made.
I'll see you in court,
I'll see you there.
Hey, Tamani Kamara continues to hit from long range.
Yes, sir.
Pritchard breaks free, gives it Gonzalez. Oh, may have gotten off his foot. Drives and kicks. Hauser's been quiet until now. Hauser drills a 3, and it's Brown again up the center of the court. Got to turn the dribble. They do. Murray picks him up. Pitches outside. Gonzalez a 3. Pass cross court. Sharp now. Out on top, exchanging passes, shooting the 3. God, Seaton Sharp. Gonzalez a screen. Kamara playing with 5 fouls, remember. Brown gets separation, leans in, and he scores. Pritchard on Avdia, single coverage, drives it right at the dribble, mighty mark, and laying it up and in off the window. Deni Avdia taking it right to Pritchard for 22. Boston quickly the other way, right to 3. Got it. Derek White knocks down the triple. Boston's within 1 with 41 seconds remaining. 21 to shoot. Avdia clears midcourt. Avdia holding, checked by White. Now making a move, step back three. Deni arcs it high, came up short, rebound, Klingon reloaded. To the pressure of the Blazer defense, and the Blazers hit some.
All right, so that's how that one was concluded. The Portland Trail Blazers had more in their tank this time round and made sure that they finished the game strong. So 108 Boston Celtics, 114 Portland Blazers. That's how that one ended. Portland will be facing Dallas Mavericks on Monday night, and Celtics will be facing Utah Jazz next on their radar. All right, so after that came the fourth game of the night, which was Memphis Grizzlies taking on Washington Wizards. It was a close one, a duel between Jaren Jackson Jr. and Sarr in this game. So of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. together with CJ McCollum, they lifted Sarr together with McCollum lifted Wizards to their second win over the Grizzlies in just 9 days. They won this one 116 to 112. But Jaren Jackson Jr. tried his best to ensure that his team does his best. He accumulated a total of 56 fantasy points in this one, scoring 31 and 8 rebounds in this game with a single steal right there. Ja Morant trying to get back to his usual ways. 21 points in this game, 7 assists, and of course 35 fantasy points in this one. Santi Aldama scoring a double-double, 14 points and 10 rebounds, 45 fantasy points right there. On the other side, the winning side, Alexander Sarr duel JJJ to make sure coming out on top. He got 55 fantasy points, 20 in the game, 9 rebounds, 1 shy of a triple-double, and guess what? 6 blocks. Wow. And 2 steals to go along with that. Amazing defensive work right there for Alexander Sarr. CJ McCollum, Mr. Inconsistent, dropped 16 points in this game. 30 fantasy points for CJ in this game. Let's look at the highlights of this one.
Starting lineup, good to see Trey Johnson getting that opportunity as Ja Morant on the business end of that lob scores. Coulibaly, McCollum, Johnson, Sarr, and Middleton. Meanwhile, Tomas Isolo's team will go with Wells, Aldama, Jackson, Morant, who didn't play against the Wizards 8 days ago, and the rookie Cedric Howard. The vitals, like you say, to guard anybody really on the floor.
Yeah, but I want to see the strategy when a guy like Santiago Almada and Jaren Jackson Jr., when they set a screen.
For that 138-117 win Friday against Toronto. 138 was a season high for them. And really defensively, as Aldama spins, Washington's points so far, Drew, have come in the paint. Spray out 3 to Wells, who cashes out the triple. 3 directions, Alex with 2 as well. That mid-range jumper is good by the initiating the offense for Memphis. Donaldsonville, Maryland's Cam Spencer passes it over to Triple J, who goes off the wing. Good feed, finding Bagley again, 2 hands on the rim. Meanwhile, Memphis was 44%. Chris Miller, Drew Gooden, Megan McPeak with you. Second quarter underway. Trey Johnson got the start tonight. Gets the first shot of the second quarter to go down. Trey already with 7 in 6 minutes.
Yeah, and doing an exceptional job in his starting role tonight.
Here's a wide open look for Jackson Jr. And when you get wide open corner shots, 5 blocks Friday in the win against Milwaukee. Bub, fade, and hits. This is that hook shot.
Champagne playing that power forward role.
All right, so in this one, Alexander Sarr or Alex Sarr scored 20 points and blocked a career best 6 shots to help Washington Wizards to their 116 to 112 victory over Memphis Grizzlies on Sunday night. CJ McCollum added 16 points for Washington Wizards, 7 out of 23, which earned, of course, his first back-to-back victories of the season, and a second win over Memphis in just 9 days. CJ McCollum scored 6 in the fourth quarter. Wizards out-rebounded Grizzlies in this one, 54-42, and overcame 19 turnovers, 8 alone by Bob Carrington. Of course, Washington's Justin Champagny had 10 points and 12 rebounds in this game. On the other side, Jaren Jackson Jr. scored 31 points and Ja Morant added 21 for Memphis, who currently have 15 wins and just 17 and actually 17 losses. They are struggling, which fails to reach the .500 mark for the first time since Grizzlies were 3-3 early in the season. And of course, they lost to LA Lakers on October 31st in that game, since they were .500 back then in October earlier in this season. Yeah. All right, let's watch the rest of the highlights of this series.
Baseline stopped by trade, forcing him to pass it to Jackson Jr. Morant, you live with that. Time go. Turnover for Washington. Aldama, Wells, fouled. Spencer working inside. That layup is good. And the fast break points has been advantage Memphis drew tonight, 28-12. Carrington for 3. Coward spraying it over to Morant. Will Riley getting the assignment. Ja with a little bit of a push. Gets inside, uses the left, and it rolls in. 16 points tonight for Ja Morant. He came in averaging almost 18 a game. Bob 3, oh yeah. Bub slips inside, pass, reverse layup for Champagny, and the Wizards have retaken the lead. Trey working inside, lost the handle. JC for 3. 65 seconds to go. CJ clearing space for the mid-range. Coming up with it, here's the look ahead to Spencer. Waiting for the trailing Morant. Washington will give up that layup as Morant slams it home. Tried to trap. Here's Carrington in the backcourt. Loses the handle. Morant, 3. Oh no. Middleton. And now he steps back, passes it out to Jackson Jr., who just heaves up a 3.
Not enough left in the tank for the Memphis Grizzlies right there. This was a close one, and they ended up losing it. 112 Memphis Grizzlies to 116 Washington Wizards. It was concluded. Next for the Grizzlies will be Philly on Tuesday, and of course for the Wizards, they close a 3-game homestand Monday against Phoenix Suns right there. All right, so after that game came the Detroit Pistons taking on LA Clippers in this game, and Kawhi Leonard dropped a career-high 55 in this game to ensure that the LA Clippers win this game. Leonard scores a career-best 55 points to lead the Clippers past the East leading Pistons 112-99 in that one. Cade Cunningham had a good game as always, dropping 25 and of course one shy of a double-double, 8 and 9 assists and 5 rebounds to go along, a total of 50 fantasy points. Jalen Duran returns to his ways, scoring 18, a double-double, 14 rebounds, 39 fantasy points in that one. On the other side, Kawhi made his career best score of 55 in this game and a double-double, 11 rebounds, 94 34 points, nearly cracking the incrackable threshold of 100 fantasy points. There are just 2 players that have managed to go beyond 100 this season, and of course that's Cade Cunningham earlier on in the season, and most recently Nikola Jokic. Cade Cunningham cracked it against Washington Wizards, as you can see right there. He had a triple-double. And of course, Nikola Jokic most recently, as they were playing, I'm forgetting the team, but it went into overtime. And boy, oh boy, was Nikola on point. He should be MVP this season, hands down, no doubt. All right, then James Harden had 46 points in this game, dropping 28 in the game. So let me roll the highlights of this one.
Glad that he gets back. Bummer news about Bogdanovich, however. We'll see how that improves. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers win the tap. They get the first bucket.
Get Kawhi started one-on-one early. Prove huge dividends offensively.
Duran doubled in the corner. Kawhi, the only field goal for the Clippers, steps back. It's a straight-on 3 for Leonard, and it falls. He couldn't buy a basket in front here with the Pistons. Another turnover here for Detroit. Clippers have it out in front, 5-4. Leonard, the fadeaway, count it, and a foul for Kawhi. Front by 7. Another giveaway. It's done, poking it free. Harden. It's a pull-up 3 in transition. Book it for James Harden. And the Clippers jump out in front, 16-6 here in the first quarter.
Mid-range shot.
Open for 3 is Batum, and he knocks it down. 1.9 on the Bill Kennedy scale. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give him a 1.8.
No. Kawhi trapped in the corner, 6 to shoot, finds Derrick Jones Jr. off the window and in. Welcome back, my friend. They give it to the kid again inside and sends it back out to Batum on the wing for 3. Book it. It's around the defense of Sanders. Big finish inside for Stewart. Off. LeVert can score the basketball. Drives on Dunn, off the window and in. One spins away, fades and fires. Not there. Stewart the rebound.
And anytime Kawhi turns his back, Pistons are going to do what we call fire, and that was fire from Kawhi.
How Isaiah Stewart plays.
I'm with you.
Cruel intentions for the Iron. Stewart stymies Leonard at the cup, but it's Lopez the follow.
By Brook, by following up on that drive by Kawhi.
Stewart inside, lays it in. Turnover, LeVert coming the other way. Stewart, a big finish inside, and a timeout by Ty Lue as Detroit makes
his game early once it really kicked into gear.
Pistons on a 14-4 run. Batum already with a couple of 3. And the Clippers lead. Told the team in our morning shoot-around. And since that time, they are 3-0 with wins over Houston. Minutes remaining. Harden. Top side to Leonard. It's a deep 3 late in the clock. It is good. And Kawhi Leonard now with 23. Kawhi's been on one here tonight. He's got 23 in the first half. Kawhi below the foul line, fades and fires and fills it up. It's 25 for Leonard. Now, Clippers 60 points in that first half. In all 7 of the Piston losses, they've given up 110 points. Clippers on that pace thanks to that guy, Kawhi Leonard. Big dish to an open Harris for 3. Tobias Harris, that 3-point shot hasn't been great the last few years when he was in Philadelphia.
Kawhi Leonard having some great games under his belt, a series of good games, and currently Clippers are on a streak. They are enjoying a 4-game winning streak right now. Kawhi has just clicked into some mode and he has had a string of some amazing game. In this one, Kawhi scores a career best 55 points to lead the Clippers past the East leading Pistons 112-99 win right there in Inglewood. Then of course Kawhi Leonard and of course James Harden added 28 points, and LA Clippers for the LA Clippers, and they extended their winning streak to a season high 4 games with this victory against the Detroit Pistons on Sunday night. Leonard went 17 of 26 from the floor, including 5 of 10 from three-point range, and made 16 of 7 free throws, with his only blemish of the game, a missed free shot in the third quarter that ended his run of 64 straight from the line. All this month, he has been on a roll this month. He scored 26 of his points in the third quarter as well. Nicholas Batum scored 12 points, while Leonard added 11 rebounds and 5 steals for Los Angeles, which lost a tale of 11 games before its 4-game run. They're actually currently on a 4-game winning streak right now as we speak. On the other side, Cade Cunningham finished with 27 points from, of course, the Eastern Conference leading Pistons after being held scoreless for the first half while in foul trouble. Then, of course, Jalen Duhan scored 18 points, 14 rebounds, and Jaden Ivey's added 11 for the Detroit Pistons, which lost back-to-back games for just the second time this season. Unfortunate for them. So let's finish up the fourth quarter right here of the highlights.
Clippers out in front by 21, 8 minutes to play. Cunningham spinning, fading, firing, and 27 for team in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons. This is a nice little streak for the Clippers. There's a different
All right, it is a nice streak indeed for the Clippers. They really needed this. They were struggling, and considering their squad, they didn't deserve to be where they are. With people like Kawhi Leonard on your squad and James Harden, no, you cannot be. At least at worst, they should be in the play-in tournament region of their conference. So next for the Pistons will be LA Lakers. LA Lakers, they get to stay in LA for 2 straight games. Then the Clippers will be hosting Sacramento Kings, which most likely will be their 5th straight win. I'm not so sure. The NBA shocks. It's a crazy league. So yeah, do not take my word to the bank. Sacramento may pull off a shocker, but based on current form, I think LA Clippers should be able to clinch this one. All right, then the final game of the night was, of course, Sacramento Kings as they took on LA Lakers. The Lakers faced down Sacramento Kings. Luka Doncic is back to his ways, and of course that means positive things for the Lakers. When Luka is out, they struggle. When Luka is back, they play some amazing basketball. So in this one, he dropped 34 points. As you can see right there, 65 fantasy points in that game, 5 rebounds and 7 assists, 3 steals to go along with that score. DeMar DeRozan on the other side led the way, 22 points, scoring 39 fantasy points right there. Reinhard Maxim scoring a double-double, 16 points and 10 rebounds, 30 fantasy points. Russell Westbrook, who had an amazing game prior to this, scored, it's the Houston Rockets game that I'm thinking of. In this one, he had 13 points and, of course, 32 fantasy points right there. There was no Reeves in this one, but thankfully we had both Ayton who dropped 11 points, and 32 points, fantasy points in this one, a double-double, 11 rebounds, and of course Luka was the main man for the Lakers, and thanks to his effort, the Lakers managed to win this game. All right, let's look at the highlights of this.
That's when you know you're on the right path to success.
Sit back and enjoy. First possession is the Lakers, and it's LeBron. Goes baseline. Reverse layup is good. Nothing remains. A minute and a half into the game. Luka and the Lakers. Oh, he splits the defense. He's going to go all the way to the rim and score. Down the middle he goes. He has had 2 straight games under 30. DeMar shot more mid-range than anybody else this year, although
they get on the board.
Yeah, they had a ton of them the other night. In fact, Lakers were out-rebounded 48-25, all alone underneath LeBron.
On Luka as much as they can. Steal by Marcus Smart.
Pocket picked. Marcus. Oh! What a lob! A look-away lob by Marcus. With the veteran. 8-4 start for the Lake Show. Baseline, got it. There's DeRozan. And a ton more. Probably at the point with no Austin. That one's launched by Westbrook, and he knocks it down. The other night, that's a good little runner that time. Rockets, Lakers shot over 50%, but they allowed Houston to shoot almost 54%. That's a good move. Drifting left, shoot. With Monk in front of him. Quick pass by LeBron, then he tries to roll to the rim. LeBron turns, baseline, got it. Nothing but net. Oh, a little fake that time by Schroeder.
Shot a bit. That's a shot that defense at times has been okay, but his steal back to, giving up.
Halfway through the second quarter here on Spectrum Sports Net. We're with you again on Tuesday night. And one, count it. Yes, that he was the MVP of the league in 2017. And he falls back from 10 feet and scores.
Out, so you have that ball handling kind of capability on for most of the half.
That seems to be the change so far.
And roll around and by the.
They'll have a situation that just now happened.
Luka for 3. String music. Done. Halftime.
Steal by Luka. Got a hand on that one and forced a turnover.
Turnover number 9 for Sacramento. Luka.
Now, of course, Luka himself made sure that they win this game. It was heavily on his back. Without him, they would have lost this game. Because remember, Austin Reeves is out, and without those 2 players, the Lakers are nothing. LA Lucas dropped 34 points in this game as, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers snapped their 3-game losing streak with a 125-101 win over Sacramento Kings on Saturday night. Nick Smith Jr. had 21 points off the bench for the Lakers, who had dropped 4 of 6 and all by at least 13 points, including 23 points demolition by the hands of Houston on Christmas Day in their previous games. On the other side, DeMar DeRozan had 22 for Kings, who have won consecutive games just once this season. Maxime Reined finished with 16. Sacramento had 6 players in double figures on the night. So let's watch the rest of the highlights as, of course, thanks to Luka Doncic, the Lakers get back to their winning ways.
Trying to get into the lane. He's not going to be denied, is he? Oh, behind his head to Vando, but he can't pay it off. You do exactly. All right, fans, we've entered the final 5 minutes of the game, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa again. Laker turnover. Lakers have been in charge since the first quarter. It's not a wire-to-wire. 5 at home. Minute 20 left. Ronnie has control of it. Bounce. Adu Thero out to connect. On its way, and Dalton. He's still 5th on the team in games played with 25. Remember, he led the team in games played last year with 78. That's a good roll and a bucket as Max scores indeed. Kings are 8 and 24, and a nice bounce back after the Christmas Day loss to Houston, and a nice tap. All
right, Luka is back and everything is fine. he ensured that the Lakers win that game and get back to winning ways in his presence. Thank you, Luka, for that. All right, so the next game, of course, for the Clippers, they will visit Clippers. The Kings will visit Clippers in Inglewood, California on Tuesday night. Then the Lakers will be hosting Eastern Conference League leaders Pistons Rockets. That's going to be a hit of a game. It's going to be one of the best games to watch right there. Something to look forward to. If you have a captaincy chip and you have Luka Doncic, I would say that is the best game to give Luka your captaincy chip. All right, so that concluded the games on the night. Now a look at our players of the night. The players of the night, starting with Kawhi Leonard. Actually, it shouldn't have started with Kawhi. I should start with Luka. Luka getting the Lakers back to their winning ways after his absentia for a couple of games, and they were doing terribly as the Lakers were under LeBron James. LeBron James just start padding, not caring about the team as a team, and of course they entered a losing streak of 3 games, and because of LeBron's leadership, they ended up losing those games in the absentia of their star player Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. But now that Luka is back, they are back to winning ways. LeBron's effect cannot affect his prowess. It still pulls them down, but of course Luka is that good in that he can drag a dead horse along and actually win games. That's how good Luka is. He's able to manage fool's gold LeBron James in the Lakers. So they won this one, of course, beating Sacramento Kings 101 and Lakers 125. 34 points for Luka Doncic in this game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, 3 steals, 64 fantasy points, which brings his averages. He's still the league leading scorer with 33.7 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, 8.6 assists per game. Right there, Luka Doncic, backcourt player of the night as Lakers get back to winning ways and putting behind LeBron's antics and horrible gameplay. Then on the other side, the ultimate player of the night was none other than Kawhi Leonard with a season high and personal high 55 points in this game as they beat Detroit Pistons, who scored only 99 in this game, 112 for the LA Clippers. Kawhi Leonard was not taking any prisoners. He had a double-double, 55 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 5 steals, only falling 6 points shy of the 100-point fantasy point marker, getting 94 fantasy points in this game, which brings his season averages to 27.5 assists per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists per game. All right, Kawhi, our player of the night. All right, so remember, this was the final game day, day 6 of game week 10. So we are crossing over to game week 11, and this is the final, the next set of games will be the day 1 of game week 11. So which means you have your 2 transfers for the game week, and of course your captaincy chip has been renewed. So it is a clean slate as we start a new game week. So what's the plan for the new game week? Maybe let's start with a look at the games that are coming up. You should be able to field a full team because there is a whole slew of amazing games planned ahead. Starting with Milwaukee Bucks that will be taking on Charlotte Hornets. Phoenix Suns will be taking on Washington Wizards. Golden State Warriors, Brooklyn Nets. Denver Nuggets will be back. MVP Nikola Jokic will be taking on Miami Heat's Orlando Magic will be taking on Toronto Raptors. Minnesota Timberwolves will be taking on Chicago Bulls. Indiana Pacers, Houston Rockets, New York Knicks taking on New Orleans Pelicans. Atlanta Hawks taking on Oklahoma City Thunders. Cleveland Cavaliers taking on San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama, the human riser. Then, of course, Cooper Flag will be taking on Portland Trail Blazers. That is Deni Avdia and company. Those are the games. Now, this is the squad that I have, but I have the luxury of 2 transfers since it's a brand new game week. So, most of these players I am going to ship out. AJ Mitchell returned, so he made a skip the cut. But this flag on Jalen Brunson, it scares me. It scares me. I cannot afford to have him out considering his price. So I will be looking into that and finding out ways. This is a very, very nice game. OKC. Anyway, let's wait and see. And Kenopo, those are the players that I'm thinking I am going to get rid of. But at the moment, I'm putting in Nikola Jokic. I have a problem with Rollins and Giuseppe, and okay, the kid won't be playing, so Rollins will get in. Giuseppe on the other one as well. So maybe I can hold off on the transfer, but I do not have a full team. Yet I should field a full team because it's not wise not to field a full team on a game day where everyone else is fielding a full team. So if AJ Mitchell can play, maybe I can remove these guys. Anyway, let me first arrange these accordingly. Kenopo, and George. Okay, so I'm going to risk AJ Mitchell. Let me put in him. And then if he doesn't play, AJ Mitchell can come on. But I would want Kenopo to come first and maybe George. Alright, so that's the squad at the moment. Captaincy, I'm not risking again. I'm going to stick with Nikola Jokic. So I'm thinking he has just looking at his schedule. Okay, they are well-spaced games. Miami. I think I'm going to put it on Miami. Because Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland. Miami hits Cleveland. I will see. Anyway, for now, not yet, maybe. It's between those two, Miami or Cleveland. So let's save the squad, and that's the squad for game day 1. Jalen Johnson, Nikola Jokic, Deni Avdia, Rollins, and Giuseppe. On the bench, I have Kenopo, George, and Mitchell AJ. And the other ones are not playing, Kate Cunningham and Minor. So I am thinking, actually, Luka will be playing Kate Cunningham. So it's between Cade or Luka. But I think I'm going to bring in Luka. I'm going to get rid of Cade Cunningham, get Luka, and get a trade on Jalen Johnson. That's what I'm thinking. This game week, let me just have a look at Luka's. I don't have any A League. Okay, let me go to the transfer just to look at how many games Luka has this game week. So a look at Luka. He has 1, 2, 3. Not the best time to bring him in. 3 games, no. Let me look at Cade Cunningham. Actually, no. Shea, you see a problem with Shea. Okay, yeah, he will give you the points, but why I keep saying he's actually not MVP? Did you see the game of San Antonio Spurs? He sat on the bench and relaxed, and the people played for him. The rest of the squad played for him. He has that luxury, so I can't really put him in Look at Chris Maxi. He only has also 3 games, so not the best. Let me look at Luka. Oh no, I already did look at Luka. The other person I want to look at is Cade Cunningham, the one I currently have. If he has 4 games, then there is no need to get rid of him. Okay, he doesn't have 4 games. He has 3. For more or less the same as Luka. We have a look at Donovan Mitchell. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we will bring it. It's Donovan Mitchell. It's Donovan Mitchell. Then maybe a look at the beard. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I'm going to bring Mitchell in this game. I'm going to bring Mitchell in this game. Yeah. Alright. That's the transfer I am planning to make. Bring Donovan Mitchell in for Cade Cunningham. First game is actually game 1, so he will be in contention for that one, whereas Cade is out. So, but is it wise to flip a player if there are other injured players? So I do not want to risk not having a full squad in this one. Alright guys, it's taking that long. That is my thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Trying to get rid of Jalen Johnson and figure out a replacement for him who is actually going to be a bit cheaper than he costs. And of course, it's currently 4. That's a 4 million. So if I get rid of him, I will lose that money. But yeah, there's Julius Randle right here. Let me see how many games he has. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Julius Randle is not that bad as well. I can get Julius in. There's Brandon Ingram. It's actually Cooper flag for a change. But no, I'm not going for Cooper. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not going for Cooper. Will be trained nothing. Scotty Barnes. Now go with Julius Randle. So let me just see how possible that is. I go for Julius at player. I have 1 million in the bank. And they want to bring 3 pieces. So, Donovan Mitchell. How possible is that? Very possible. Okay. That's it, guys. I will be making those 2 transfers and hope Kinoko gets back. Yeah, I will be making those transfers. I'm going to remain with 3 in the bank because I'm going to have to bring back Jalen Johnson at some point. As long as that flag gets away, I'm worried. I'm just worried about that flag, which I don't want to take a risk anymore. We are at that level where I should not be taking any risks. Alright guys, that concludes our video on the night. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section on how to improve these videos for you guys. More new things are coming up, more innovations I'm learning. Expect way greater things come the next year. I am going to improve on the way I deliver the content to you guys, make it a bit more nicer with a kick and an oomph. So prepare for the best come 2026. Happy New Year guys. Until the next one, peace out.